As you can see by the calendar, tomorrow we are getting 30 new Team Affinity programs. It's the fourth stage of Team Affinity, and it is the Neon series. They've been dropping some of these cards on Twitter. They haven't shown any attributes. That's what we're going to be doing today, is creating mock-ups and sort of going through each of the 15 that they've revealed. They've actually revealed 14, but one of them people have kind of figured out, and we're going to just talk about it. So let's get into it. Before we get into it, I just want to thank you guys so much for 4,000 subscribers. We just recently hit it the other day. As a reward for you guys, I'm going to be posting 7 videos in 7 days starting today. And one of those videos is going to be a video specifically about me talking about giveaways and a huge announcement. This is a project I've been working on for over a month now, so subscribe and make sure that you look out for that video. So SDS is probably going to reveal more of these guys before this video goes live, or tomorrow after this video goes live. These are all the cards that they've revealed thus far. So starting off with the Blue Jays, we have Sean Green, and of course the cards are confirmed, but the attributes I created just to make it clear. Sean Green, we pretty much know what we're getting with Sean Green cards. He'll destroy righties, he'll be solid against lefties, he'll have okay defense, and he'll be able to play right and center. And the best thing about all these Team Affinity cards is they will be captains. So these 99s are not only going to be great players, but they're also going to be team captains. Moving on to the Yankees, we have Derek Jeter. I'm surprised they dropped Derek Jeter in Team Affinity. Obviously, Derek Jeter is one of the biggest names every single year since he was added in 23. 23, he was the Live Series collection. So, pretty interesting that they choose Team Affinity, but just, we know what to expect with the Derek Jeter 99. High contact, vision, discipline. He's, of course, going to have maxed out clutch. He's named Mr. November. He was one of the clutchest players in the history of the game. I know he's a little overrated defensively, but they give him good fielding ratings on his cards. So that's just what I have him there. If you guys want to argue about if he was a good defender or not, you can do that on your own time. He'll also have good speed. Now, for the Orioles, they put a silhouette. They didn't actually have the player there, but somebody found the exact picture of the player, and it ended up being Adley Rutschman. So it's not confirmed that this is Adley Rutschman, but it's pretty likely. And Adley Rutschman has had rumors of being on the trade block for the Orioles, and I think that this card, it could be his last 99 with Baltimore, unless we get like a flashback later. He could still get Baltimore 99s, but anyway, he'll be a switch hitting catcher with elite defense. He's going to be 90s across the board. He'll have high contact and clutch. His power will be a little lower, but it'll be another great switch hitting catcher. Moving on to the Red Sox, we have Marcelo Mayer, who is one of their top prospects, who I don't really know how he's done this year. I think he got injured, actually, but he'll have reverse splits. He'll probably hit lefties better than righties, but he'll be all around a very good hitter with gold defense, can play short, third, and he's a lefty hitter, throws righty, and he'll have okay speed as well. Chandler Simpson is the Rays Team Affinity card, and this card is going to be such a pain in the ass to play against. He's probably going to have 125 for both contacts and clutch. He's not going to have any power, but he's going to have maxed out bunting and maxed out speed. This guy is one of the fastest players I've ever seen in my life. And so this guy is going to be the ultimate bunt cheesing card. He's going to be a guy who just gets on base all the time and is so annoying to deal with on the bases. This is going to be an interesting card. The 2024 number 1 overall pick, Travis Bazzana, is getting a 99 overall in Team Affinity. I was wondering, because a lot of these pipeline guys only had pipeline cards for the ones that haven't made the majors yet. Some of them have. But, for example, Travis Bazzana, he hasn't made the majors. So I was wondering, when are these guys going to get higher overall cards? And here we go. So Travis Bazzana, he'll have high contact. He'll be better against righties. He'll have good defense and great speed. Can play second and center. Here's another guy who is a prospect. Well, he's been in the majors, but he was a prospect for the Royals. Jack Caglione, and boy, does this guy hit the ball hard. He's going to have great stats versus righties. He'll have solid stats against lefties. Good clutch. He'll be around silver defense, I would say. Not the best speed, so he's not going to be an amazing outfielder, but he will have a pretty solid arm, and you can plop him in at first base. Walker Jenkins, I remember his pipeline card. He was the final program award I loved that card for the first week or two in the game until I got Beltron. But I loved that card. He had a great swing, great. He just played really well, and I think that a Walker Jenkins 99 overall is a great opportunity for another great card for him. He'll be kind of similar to Travis Bazzana, lefty hitter, great defense, great contact, good power, good clutch, and he'll have solid speed as well. Keeping up with the theme of pipeline players who haven't made the majors, we have Kevin McGonigal. I don't know how you say that name. But he's for the Tigers. He's more of a contact hitter, so he'll be similar to the Chandler Simpson with high contact. Not the best power, but good vision, discipline, and clutch. He'll be around silver defense, I would say, but this card will bring good speed to the table at short and second. Kyle Teal did make the majors for the White Sox. I don't know how he's doing. I don't really follow the White Sox. They are playing the Yankees this week, so maybe I'll see him as a Yankees fan. But yeah, he'll be another catching option. He'll be great against righties, good against lefties. He's a lefty hitting catcher. He'll have solid defense as well. This will be a nice little 99 overall catcher if you don't have Kyle Raleigh. Now, this is someone who a lot of people are going to get excited for. Lance Berkman is the Team Affinity reward for the Houston Astros. Everyone who has used the 88 and the 96, the Prime Collection, and one of the first BR Flawless rewards back when we actually got them. Everybody who's used a Lance Berkman card has said how much that they love his swing and they love the way he plays. I have not used Lance Berkman yet, just never really got around to it with the 88. I ended up getting the card when he was in the rewind pack, so by then I had Gil Hodges, and then, the 96, I still had Gil Hodges when he came out. Gil Hodges isn't on my team anymore. My new first baseman is Mike Napoli. But yeah, I think I'm going to give this Lance Berkman a shot. Switch hitter, can play all three spots in the outfield. Hopefully that's what he has in his previous cards. Gold defense, 70 speed, but most importantly, let's talk about his offense. He's going to be insane. 125 contact versus right, 125 clutch, 118, 119 for contact left, power right with 100 power, 103 discipline, or 103 vision, 115 discipline. Like, if we get a card like this for Lance Berkman, I'm going to have to put him in at first base. Now, when I was creating these cards, and the Mariners card is Colt Emerson, I had no idea who he was. So I was like, oh, okay, he's probably one of the pipeline guys, right? Maybe he's a pipeline card. So I went to the pipeline collection, and I thought, maybe he's here. Not there. So I was like, okay, maybe spring breakout, right? No, he also is not a spring breakout. And I'm double checking here to make sure he doesn't have a draft card. And he doesn't. He's not in the game. This guy is a prospect for the Mariners. I don't think he's made the majors yet, and he doesn't have a card. So I was like, how am I supposed to make a mock-up? So I sort of just looked at his prospect grades and just messed around with it. This is what I have for Colt Emerson. Shortstop, that's the only position he's played this year in the minors, so I don't think he'll have secondaries. High contact, good power, good clutch, gold defense, decent speed. Can't really say much about him. Now moving on to the Angels, we have Logan O'Hoppe, who is another catching option. This is, I think, the third player who's going to be able to play catcher, and there's going to be a fourth later on as a secondary. But Logan O'Hoppe, you know what you're getting with Logan O'Hoppe. He's going to have high power. I have 122, 125, 97, 108 contact, so the contact is a little low versus righties for this stage in the power creep. I mean, it's September in a few days. 100 clutch helps that a little. This card reminds me of the Mike Zunino card, the Retro Finest that we had either in 23 or 24. I don't remember which year. Maybe 22. That's when Retro Finest started. But he'll be gold defense as well. Just another great catching option. We have, I just want to say, this year has been the most loaded year for catchers in Diamond Dynasty. Moving on to the Texas Rangers, we have Rafael Palmeiro. Now, for Mr. Palmeiro, he has, he was one of the greatest power hitters of all time, even with steroids. But, there are a bunch of players who took steroids who were in Diamond Dynasty, so whatever. But 125 power versus right, 117 versus left makes a lot of sense considering he's in the 500 home run club. 111 contact versus right, 100 contact left, 102 clutch, and he'll be a good defender too. Defense will probably be low 90s, high 80s. for fielding, and the rest of it's kind of like lower, but it doesn't matter because he's a first baseman, and he'll actually have pretty good speed and stealing for a first baseman. And lastly, for the Athletics, we have Tyler Soderstrom, who will have catcher secondary most likely, but even, keeping in mind the catcher secondary, he'll be very similar to Rafael Palmeiro. I think he'll be worse versus lefties, though, he hasn't been as good versus lefties, and he'll have worse defense, but he'll play different positions. Left field primary, catcher secondary, first base also secondary. His spotlight card is a primary first baseman, so interesting to see him in left field. He will have a good arm, and he will have 60 speed around there, so he will be serviceable in the outfield, but I think this might be a good catching option, especially versus righties. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys are new here, follow me on my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, but most importantly, make sure to subscribe on here on YouTube. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.